Welcome to Two Guys Garage. That's right, bring it on in.
Come on into our shop.
As you can see, we got a big bad F-150 here. It's got some squeals and some moans going on, so we're gonna fix that with some new technology.
But no fear, muscle car fans, we're bringing back the blue 67 Mustang project. We're gonna finish that modern driveline conversion, and we're gonna run some exhaust. It's gonna be a great one. Go and get this wheel off. Oh, okay. That sucker's heavy. Now, typical deal, high mileage F-150, and he had a recent brake job. Problem is, he's got low frequency groans and moans and squeaks, and most brake jobs come back because of that. You do a brake job, it's very rare that the car does not stop. And there are ways to fix this problem, and I want to show you that on the tabletop, but first thing what we do is go ahead and take this caliper so we can get into the nuts and bolts. All right, we got everything off. We got our caliper off. That was just a couple of bolts. That was easy. Pull these old clips. We've got the rotor off, and now you can see the parking brake, which is inside of the hat, which is a great way to package it. A lot of vehicles are doing that now.
Yeah, it's like an old drum style, right? The shoes pusher gets inside of the rotor hat.
Yeah.
Super simple.
I got our pads here. They look like they're in really good shape. I mean, look like they've barely been used. The only thing I did notice is that rotor was really stuck on. So it's a nice tip we've used around here a lot is putting a little bit of anti-seize on there so you can get it off easy. Or the next guy can get it off easy.
Be nice guy to the next guy.
Exactly.
Well, everything was in great shape, so we've still got these squeals and moans. And again, as Brian said, these aren't from, the brake's not functioning properly. You've got a noise input. You've got sliding things, right? Engines make noise, you put mufflers on them. Brakes make noise, you put mufflers on them, right? So we've got new hardware all the way around, which is going to be great. But even these new sliders have some upgrades on them.
Yeah, let me show you the original. And the way this would ride is right here. And you can imagine them kind of tapping on each other. You flip it over and see the difference in the new Carlson and the old one. There's actually a little coating in there, nitrile polymer coating. That's going to help quiet it down, like putting a little thin blanket inside of it.
Yeah, it's like sound deadener that you put underneath the body of your car. It's the same kind of idea. You're absorbing more of those vibrations, so less of them are going to get transmitted into the air into your ear. So an easy way to take a real nice brake job, you throw 10 or 20 bucks, you put all new hardware on it, everything slides properly, your pads retract so you don't wear out. Great way to knock those high frequency noises down. Now we're going to go in there and we're going to redo the brake hardware for the parking brake. That's something everybody overlooks. And a lot of times on an automatic car, it never gets used. So that stuff just sits there. It corrodes, and maybe it gets used once and then it doesn't retract properly and you're dragging your parking brake around.
Or you overuse it, by pulling it really hard around a corner.
Well,
Not that anybody would do that.
No, we would never do that. So we're going to do the parking brake as well. And what's really cool is we got low frequency noises to deal with too. Now a lot of times on rear caliper brakes, you'll get sort of a moan or groan, kind of like parking lot kind of maneuvers. Sometimes on these, maybe a cold or wet day, it'll accentuate those noises, and there's not much you can do about it besides adding technology.
These are cool.
This is a really cool bit. So this is actually the caliper bolt. It's got a little...
Here's the stock one we took out.
So it's got a stud end on it, and what this is a mass damper. So there's a mass here, and inside, if we can pull this cover off, yeah, you can see there's a silicone spring combination damper. So this will vibrate, at the right frequency, about 250 hertz, and absorb those groaning frequencies.
It's amazing like how picky we are today, that even on a pickup, we're mad because there's just that little bit of vibration.
Yeah, I'm in the parking lot and there's a little moan.
Oh gosh.
But what's cool is a lot of vehicles, European vehicles and even modern vehicles, are starting to come out with this technology. So this is actually a FOMOCO, Ford part, going on the 2011 and 12s. There's a lot of vehicles that have them on it. Well, since this vehicle has the same caliper setup, we can retrofit it back, take care of another one of those little noise issues.
Yeah.
Perfect, super simple.
So I think at that point we're ready to get into the rebuild of the parking brake. Okay. So let's get that started.
I'm going to start on the other side.
Now Carlson already includes some lithium grease, which is nice. I'm going to put them on here, and then the pad will slide back and forth nice and easy. This job's just about done. Last piece to put in are slider bolts that are replacing the originals. So those will just screw into the back. Now there's only one dampener. This is the low frequency dampener we talked about before. That's gonna go right onto that once you torque it up, so that's nice. There's only one on the top, not on the bottom, per the instructions, so that's good. Now if you can see, replacing all these components is not hard while you're here. Replacing the springs, replacing the bushings, replacing the clips, all makes a big difference in the end of having a full quality brake job. So if you're doing it yourself, go ahead and do the next step. It's only about 20 bucks worth of materials. If you're having someone else do it, a nice kit like this one from Carlson Quality Brake Parts is gonna finish the job right and make sure that you and the customer are happy in the end. And we gotta take a break right now. When we get back, we're gonna have some Nerd Bird, we're gonna have some cool tools, so don't go anywhere.
Since 1971, all trucks have been manufactured with seatbelts, but many older vehicles on the road still drive without them. Avoid the ticket and add extra safety with a 3-point retractable seatbelt kit. It's a simple, direct bolt-on installation while using the original seatbelt mounting holes. They are made from OE quality herringbone webbing, and you can color match the belt to your interior. A seatbelt extender is also available, providing an extra 12 inches in length. The seatbelt kit is available for 67 to 87 GM trucks, 73 to 91 Blazer and Suburban, and 67 to 72 Ford trucks.
This tip is brought to you by LMC Truck. With over 30,000 truck parts in stock, you can get the right part at the right price right now.
Cool tools. You know, it's just the nature of the job. We get to play with the latest and greatest around here. I got an engine light on. I got a couple trouble codes going on. So I plugged in my Actron Auto Scanner Plus. Now, you know, it's popping up some codes. I got a P0113. If you don't know what that is, you're gonna go have to look it up. Well, I got it right here. It's an intake air, temperature, high voltage. Okay, well, where do I start? There could be multiple issues, you know, related to this one code. Now, I can push my code connect. In this case, the most frequently reported fix is actually replacing the intake air temperature sensor. Okay, that's simple. But in a lot of cases, you might have the most frequent fix, the next frequent fix, and even on and on and on. And what's nice is there's over 3 million fixes in this unit for this particular car or your particular car when you plug this thing in. So it tells you right where to go for the best odds of finding the problem the fastest. An amazing way to save a lot of time. Now this is always being updated, so no matter, you know, as time goes on, that 3 million is going to turn to 4 million and so on. So it's always going to give you the latest, most frequent, you know, fixes for that particular code, because a lot of times it just tells you something's wrong, doesn't tell you what it is. Now, of course, this thing also has, you know, the ability to look at live data, so I can stream while I'm driving or while I'm sitting here. I can save it, I can print it, I can graph it. Really cool tool. It's the Actron Auto Scanner Plus. Cool tools.
Now while we're here, we're almost finished with the pickup. We're gonna go ahead and change the oil for the guy. We've drained the pan, got the oil filter changed out. We're gonna use a good quality synthetic blend that's from Mystic. Mystic's gonna work in all kinds of conditions. It's a good heavy duty, high performance oil. And this is 10W30. 10W30 is what's recommended for this vehicle. And if you've ever wondered, how do they get those numbers? What do they mean? Should I use the same one? Does it really matter? Well, take it away, Byrd.
Hey, welcome to my makeshift lab here. Now, right out of the freezer, I got 2 beakers of oil. Now, the reason is we've got a lot of questions about multi-weight oils versus straight weight. A lot of guys will ask, well, my vehicle recommends running a multi-grade oil. Should I just run straight? Is it better? No, it's not. I'm going to show you. Now, a base oil, think about your frying pan. Nice and thick when you pour it in cold, but when it gets hot, it thins out. Well, that's the wrong time you want it to thin out. You want it to be a little bit thicker when it's hot, you know, when you're loading the engine down. But what about when it's cold? You know, just like this, a winter day, right out of my freezer, right next to the, you know, freeze pops. So I got my 30 weight over here. Check this out. And I got my multi-viscosity. Oh yeah. So think about trying to get this honey squeezed through your oil pump on a cold day. You want that thinner oil in there. You want it to pump through there, but you want it to be thicker and, you know, when it gets hot. So multi-viscosity is a great way to get different characteristics opposite of what the oil wants to do. Now how that works is there's polymer chains put in the base oil. Now these chains, they grow when they get hot, so they get thicker. But when it's cold, they shrink back down and they shrivel. It's a perfect way to get all these different characteristics of the oil and tune it for the exact temperatures and conditions that you want them to perform in. Now, engineers are designing the engines around a particular oil. They've already chosen it. So it's a matched pair. So anytime you're thinking about changing the oil in your vehicle, you can make the decision between a synthetic or conventional. Obviously, the synthetic is going to perform a little bit better, like this JT8 from Mystic, but you want to make sure specifically you check for that multi-viscosity rating and get the right one. Don't go away. When we come back, we're going to get to work on our 67 Mustang project.
Installation. What do we do when we put them in? Now, one of the nice things about a Champion spark plug, it already comes with a release agent, so it's going to go in, it's not going to seize. Everybody knows about gapping your plugs, but what you don't know is sometimes if you use the round type, you can actually damage the end because there's iridium on the end that you don't want to mess up. So get a nice wire type like this. You can look in the book. This is a Silverado 9405 type, and it needs a 40 thou gap. So it's 40 thousandths of an inch. You line it up with your 40 thou. Okay, oh, that's a little bit loose. Now what I'm going to do is take the end, kind of tweak it down. That should be a little bit closer, and you just want a nice snug fit. So that's good. Now, as you put it in, let's say you've got this nice tip, you put it in finger tight, you got it to a certain point. Now, different types of spark plugs have different types of torque specs. This is a gasket type. A gasket type is going to require about 1/4 of a turn. So once you get it finger tight, 1/4 of a turn. Now a tapered type's got a tapered seat in the bottom. All you have to do is about a 1/16 of a turn. Same deal, finger tight, 1/16 of a turn. Hopefully that gives you a few tips. It's a piece of cake to replace your spark plug. Back on our 67 Mustang project, 500 horsepower, Boss 331.
Yeah, Ford Racing crate motor, ready to go. But how are we going to get all that power down to the back? We're going to upgrade. Modern Driveline set us up with a TKO 600, a complete conversion kit with everything you need, SFI approved scatter shield, clutches, you name it, and all the conversion parts ready to bolt on. Now what I did on the inside here is I mounted the backing plate. I drilled 2 small holes through the firewall. It's got the linkage for the pedal, so I can mount the pedal, which is right down here. This is a nice upgrade unit. This is removable to let it get in the vehicle a lot easier than the welded stud that was on there. And now that that's mounted, Bryan can hook up the master cylinder.
And here's your master that's going to go in. Your line will come in, it comes with your stainless braided line. They'll hook up really nice, snake down to the slave. And then this is where your reservoir will come up, so that'll be a piece of cake. Let me feed it in. I'll show you where this goes. 2 bolts, 2 studs, just need to put nuts on. There you go. Now while we're here, let me just recap a little bit. Now we've updated our steering box. We turned it into power from the original Ford, which is cool. We got our rag joint in, we got our new column. You can see we've got new lines. We got our power steering pump in. We've put our wiring kit in. We kind of got our box. So we're really mocking up a lot of things, including headers. And today, we've got some exhaust to go in, drive shaft.
Yep, we're ready to start sending some power down to the wheels. So now that we got the pedal just about ready to go in, the other thing I can do while I'm in here is get the shifter. Now the kit comes with everything from the boot, the arm, the actual shifter itself. Now what we've done is, normally it comes with a sort of a straight up and down, this guy would bolt right in through here, because that's where it wants to be in the car. Well, we kind of moved some stuff around. We got adjustable motor mounts from CJ Pony Parts. We lowered the engine a 1/2 inch, which is cool for a race car, get the CG down. We also moved it back about 2 inches, which is getting the weight towards the center of the car, let a lot of stuff fit better. So Bruce hooked us up from Modern Driveline with an offset shifter, so it's going to put it right back where we need, and everything seems to fit and work well.
This is a great kit.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, let's finish up what we got left, and we're on. That's good. If you come under here to the business end of the Modern Driveline kit, we're hooking up our slave cylinder, putting our stainless braided hose on. Now, you can imagine the original had a cable coming this direction. You see how it would hit the headers, you had a lot of heat issues. The other thing they've done is by putting it out here, it's adjustable. So if you need to adjust it later, you can. Very cool. Comes with your bell housing, nice scatter shield there. Comes with your tranny mount. It's also going to come with your speedo cable. That's cool. And your reverse light hooks in, so all you have to do is put it into your wiring harness, bam, got reverse lights too.
Pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Making progress. And don't forget the most important part, connecting that to that. So we got our drive shaft. Don't forget, put a little lube on the end there so you don't burn up your seal. And this guy can go in and mount.
And we got to take a break. Hold on.
All right, we're back. We're underneath our 67 Mustang Vintage Road Racer. We got our whole modern drive line in, our drive shaft in.
Looking good.
Now, we got to do something without these big old holes. We got noises coming out like that, but crank it up to about 11. That's close. So we got to get those gases down somewhere in this region.
Out. Well, we've got the MagnaFlow polished stainless steel. MagnaFlow makes a beautiful system. It's got a crossover built into it. This is a 67 to 70 Mustang kit, so most everything's going to bolt into a stock Mustang with a few differences. Now, if you look out, got the polished stainless mufflers, the hangers, like we said, that are going to go into stock locations, and then obviously over the rear end and out.
But we don't do anything stock around here, so we're going to make a few modifications.
Tweaking.
Follow along. We're going to tweak. So let's pull these guys off. Let's
Okay.
get these mufflers hung on the brackets and we'll go from there.
You grab that one.
Okay, modification number 1. Now we got this up and over axle pipe. Man, that fit looks perfect. But Mikey, he wants to run dump pipes. So what we want to do is make sure that we position everything welded up so that in the future, when he gets tired of all that booming, loud exhaust, he can pop those dump pipes off and put the up and over axle pipes right back in their place. Now dump pipes are kind of cool. I mean, they sound awesome. It's really kind of race car like. I mean, this thing is really going to be cool to get on the track and on the street. But, you know, if you're going to drive the car on the street a lot, they're pretty loud. Now that sound just hits the ground and back under the bottom of the car and just booms around. So we're going to make sure that in the future, if he does get a little bit tired of it, he can put the up and overs and just knock these guys right off.
This is the tube that comes with the kit, and it just about fits our headers, even though we've moved it around, but not quite. It's hitting our cross member or tranny mount, so that's a problem. So thanks to the miracle of TV, we've already cut these and got them spliced in here and rearranged it to where they fit well. Now what we did was put it on the bandsaw, cut it nice and square, put it on the sander, just kind of touch it off, make sure it's good and clean, make sure it's nice and burr free. Now a tip for you, tape it together. Now you think, I'm gonna get it the first time. Well, you're not. You're gonna need to change it. So get it taped, and then at this point, we're ready to tack. Another tip is, go ahead and label them, right, left, right 1, right 2, right 3. Then you know if you need to go back, you're set to go at this point. We're ready to get her mirrored on the opposite side and get it tacked together. So at this point, I think we're about ready to weld this baby up. We'll purge the inside to do that. But right now, we got to take a break, so hold on.
For more information about anything you've seen on today's show, check out speed.com or visit TwoGuysGarage.com.
Welcome to the break room. Well, unless we dug you out from underneath your couch, you've heard of the name Jet Hot Coatings.
That's right. They've been around for a long time, making all of our manifolds, headers, you name it, look a lot better, stand up for a lot longer, keep all that heat in, and, you know, look good.
That's right. Jet Hot's been around since the early 80s, one of the best known brands. And a couple of reasons. They coat the inside for you, which a lot of companies don't do. They have a lifetime warranty on their products. They have a lot of colors.
Yeah, and the turnaround is fast. 3 to 5 days, you ship them, they ship it back. You blink a few times, you're ready to bolt your parts on, which is great. Yeah, they got, what, red, green, blue. They got 3 shades of gray. They got black, and of course, a nice shiny finish.
Very good stuff.
That's from Jet Hot Coatings. Check them out. All right, next up, we got the Blue Magic, headlight restore and the sealer.
Yeah, we've used a lot of Blue Magic products around here. And if you got those yellowing headlights, You know, you want to clean them up, make sure that people see you better, make sure you see the deer in front of you. This is a good product. Now the Restore, you're gonna put a little bit on, put some circular motion on it, and then wipe it off. Then you're gonna use the sealer.
Yeah, no, the sealer's gonna fill any of those little pores, cracks, you know, kind of like a granite countertop. Seal it, keep it protected, and it's got UV inhibitors, so it's gonna keep that yellowing, hazing, you know, knocked down for quite a long time. Keep your headlights looking good for a lot longer time.
Correct it and make it a lot easier to clean in the future too. So again, that's from Blue Magic, their headlight lens, Restore, and Sealer. Now this is a really cool product from American Autowire. We showed you a lot of their stuff before. They're called intelligent fuses.
Yeah, and they are smart. Now, most of our fuse boxes are, you know, hidden somewhere dark under the dash or under the hood. So when you blow a fuse, you're sitting there pulling every single one of them out to kind of check them. Or, you know, you're doing continuity checks or, yeah, exactly. But these are great because when you blow a fuse, it actually triggers an LED light to pop on. So a quick scan tells you exactly which one it is or that everything's good to go.
How does it work? And they've met the SAE stringent certifications, so you know they're safe.
Yeah, and they meet, you know, the same operational load side and output side. So when you're doing, you know, circuitry testing, everything is exactly like it should. Nothing gets kind of goofed up in there by the, you know, cool technology.
Intelligent fuses. I like it.
American Autowire. Check it out, our favorite way to barbecue.
The hot rod grill.
It's not an engine, it's a party on wheels.
Now it looks like an engine. You got your zoomy stacks that actually work. Start cooking some dogs, you got smoke coming out the top.
That's right, you got full stainless steel grill surface. It's great for the party, have your guys over. You're the coolest dude in town, man.
Got the aluminum heads, aluminum manifold, looks just like the real deal.
Yep.
And if you're
You
really
ready for a
cool,
tune-up?
you
Yep.
get the upgraded spark plug corn cob holders. Awesome.
Yeah, it's Hot Rod Grill, get you one.
Well, hopefully you enjoyed the show today. We had some cool MagnaFlow exhaust.
Yeah, and hope you learned a little bit about brake technology from Carlson.
We were using the code reader from Actron. That was a pretty cool piece. That's an interesting piece of technology.
And I hope you learned a little bit about the right viscosity of oil and why you should put the right in your engine. But with that, we're out of time. We'll see you on the next show.
Sayonara. You getting the dogs?
That's right.